Welcome to Guide to Reads, our dear friends. Have you ever wondered how something as simple and pure as kindness can profoundly reshape your work life, leadership style, and personal success? If so, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving into the compelling book, Kind, The Quiet Power of Kindness at Work, by Graham Allcott. Prepare to embark on an eye-opening exploration of how this often overlooked virtue can create a more positive, productive, and fulfilling work environment. Allcott challenges the all-too-common misconception that kindness is a sign of weakness. In reality, it is a quiet superpower that demands courage, conscious effort, and meaningful action. Through both our personal and professional relationships, acts of kindness have the remarkable ability to build trust, foster collaboration, and forge meaningful bonds. This gentle force has the power to break down barriers, cultivate supportive environments, and inspire positive change. While our competitive, individualistic society often celebrates ruthlessness, the truth is that real progress arises from empathy, understanding, and a genuine commitment to uplifting others. By embracing kindness as a guiding principle, we can nurture a culture that values both personal well-being and collective growth. This summary will demonstrate why kindness is far more than just a nice idea. We'll look at how even the smallest gestures of generosity can create lasting impact, challenge common myths that link kindness with weakness, and explore practical ways to make it a daily habit. But first, let's uncover the powerful case for kindness, why it matters and how it has the ability to transform our lives. 1. The powerful case for kindness. The curious and unexpected power of kindness. Picture yourself as a silent observer, watching from the sidelines as someone stops to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need. You may not be the giver or receiver, dear friend, but something profound shifts within you. Researchers have even coined a term for this phenomenon, the Mother Teresa effect. Witnessing an act of kindness triggers a biological response, unleashing immune-boosting chemicals that nourish the body and soul. But the benefits grow even stronger for those directly involved. Coca-Cola Madrid learned this firsthand when they surprised their employees with small gestures of kindness, free snacks, handwritten notes, and genuine compliments. The employees' moods lifted and their approach to work transformed. They became more engaged, forged stronger connections with colleagues, and felt a profound sense of motivation. For the kind-hearted souls offering these gestures, the effects go even deeper. Every act of compassion sets off a chemical response in the brain, releasing a cascade of oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin. These feel-good hormones not only reduce stress and improve mood, but studies reveal their impact extends far beyond. Regular kindness lowers cortisol levels, strengthens the immune system, and even contributes to a longer, more fulfilling life. And the ripple effect of kindness knows no bounds. A single act can inspire others to follow suit, creating a remarkable chain reaction. One medical case study beautifully illustrated this. When one person donated a kidney to a stranger, their selfless act triggered an extraordinary sequence, leading 10 others to become donors themselves. Even small gestures, like covering a stranger's coffee or sharing an encouraging word, can spark something much larger. In the workplace, where kindness becomes a daily habit, the impact is undeniable. Research shows that in such environments, employees become 12% more productive and satisfied. And when leaders lead with kindness, their teams become more collaborative, engaged, and supportive of one another. Kindness doesn't just make people feel good, it also improves how organizations function. It fosters trust between colleagues and cultivates an environment where people feel safe to speak up, share ideas, and take risks. This psychological safety empowers teams to innovate, and when employees trust one another, communication improves, and problem-solving becomes more effective. Danish entrepreneur Ole Casso put this idea to the test in a bakery, allowing employees to give away free items every day. The results were clear. Employees became more engaged, customers responded with warmth and gratitude, and people kept coming back, drawn not just by the baked goods but by the experience of genuine generosity. So, my dear friends, when was the last time you made someone's day a little easier? Have you witnessed the transformative power of kindness in action? or perhaps a missed opportunity left you with regret. Imagine what could unfold if you embraced kindness as a daily habit. This week, I challenge you to commit to an intentional act of kindness, big or small. Pay close attention to how it makes you feel, how others react, and what conversations it sparks. Start today, and let's explore the wonders that unfold when we make kindness a way of life. 2 leadership myths that won't die. Popular culture has long perpetuated the notion of the bold, ruthless leader, the individual who charges ahead, makes the tough calls, and refuses to let emotions interfere. Movies and media have painted this aggressive executive archetype as a genius destined for success, willing to do whatever it takes to come out on top. Yet the stark reality tells a very different story, my friends. The cautionary tale of Theranos serves as a prime example. Once hailed as a visionary who would revolutionize healthcare, Elizabeth Holmes modeled herself after the iconic Steve Jobs. While Apple created real innovative products, Theranos built its empire on deception and toxicity. Despite the endless praise from investors and the media, who crowned Holmes the youngest female billionaire, the truth lurked beneath the surface. Ethical concerns were ignored, and employees who dared to question her leadership faced intimidation. Ultimately, the company's collapse and Holmes's fraud conviction revealed the grave dangers of unchecked aggression in the name of success. This enduring belief in the power of ruthless leadership has shaped societal perceptions for decades, despite overwhelming evidence proving the exact opposite. 3 persistent myths continue to perpetuate this misconception. The first is the evil genius myth, the idea that leaders must be willing to break the rules and act ruthlessly in order to come out on top. Hollywood loves this stereotype, filling our screens with anti-heroes who thrive on manipulation and aggression, but real-life success simply doesn't follow the same script. People tend to remember the exceptions like Steve Jobs, and conveniently ignore the countless failures, like Elizabeth Holmes. Research actually shows that being well-liked and trusted strengthens one's leadership abilities. Take Warren Buffett, for example. He built his storied career on fostering trust and cultivating long-term relationships, in stark contrast to the self-proclaimed Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort, who thrived on exploitation and ultimately landed in prison. Then there's the pushover myth, which portrays kindness as a form of weakness. Many assume that kind-hearted individuals are unwilling to confront challenges or stand up for themselves. But true kindness requires confidence, the ability to set boundaries, and the courage to make tough decisions without resorting to cruelty. During the COVID-19 pandemic, New Zealand's Jacinda Ardern demonstrated that strong, decisive leadership and genuine compassion are not mutually exclusive. She led with both unwavering resolve and profound empathy. Finally, the do-gooder myth suggests that kindness is a trait people either possess or lack, rather than a skill that can be developed. In reality, kindness, like any other leadership quality, improves with intentional practice. The strongest leaders recognize moments when kindness is needed and act, even when it may feel uncomfortable. Whether offering honest feedback, supporting a struggling colleague, or standing up for fairness, they push past their own hesitation and choose kindness as a deliberate, strategic approach. To cultivate your own leadership prowess, I invite you to reflect on the following questions. Which leaders do you most admire, and do they lead through aggression or thoughtful compassion? How have your past choices between surface-level niceness and genuine kindness affected those around you? When was the last time you demonstrated courageous kindness, even when it was inconvenient? Now, here's a challenge for you, my dear friend. Next week, be on the lookout for opportunities to extend kindness, even when it may feel uncomfortable. Observe what causes you to hesitate, and watch closely as the ripple effects unfold. Remember, the truly transformative leaders are those who choose kindness as a daily practice, creating a lasting positive impact that fear and aggression could. 3. The foundations of kind leadership. While understanding the profound importance of kind leadership is the first crucial step, putting this principle into daily practice requires a structured, intentional approach. Fortunately, our author, Graham Allcott, offers us a clear framework to guide us. 8 guiding principles of kindness at work. that can help create a workplace where people feel genuinely supported and deeply motivated. Let's explore each of these principles in turn, my dear friends. The first principle is that kindness starts with you. This highlights the essential truth that self-kindness is the foundation for kind leadership. All too often, we hold ourselves to impossible, unforgiving standards, believing we must push through exhaustion and earn our right to rest. This harsh, unyielding mindset has a way of spreading like wildfire through our teams. When leaders neglect their own well-being, the pressure for others to do the same intensifies. The brain's survival instincts make practicing self-kindness a real challenge, constantly reinforcing feelings of guilt and fear around setting boundaries or taking necessary breaks. The key is to begin reframing that negative self-talk, recognizing those unhelpful thought patterns, and deliberately shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. Self-kindness also means prioritizing self-care and having the courage to say no when needed. When leaders model these habits, they create a workplace where others feel safe to do the same. Why not start by scheduling some unearned self-care, like a long, rejuvenating walk or canceling unnecessary meetings? The second principle highlights the importance of setting clear expectations. Clarity, it seems, is the antidote to stress and confusion. Without clear direction, frustration and disengagement inevitably follow. People need to understand three crucial elements: the overarching vision, the guiding principles that define how they work together, and the specific measures of success. Leaders reinforce these ideas through repetition, sharing key messages until they become second nature. They build this clarity by asking thoughtful questions, defining success in precise terms, and modeling the behaviors they wish to see in others. The third principle, listen deeply, focuses on how attentive listening builds trust and genuine engagement. All too often, we listen not to understand, but merely to formulate our own responses. Effective listening, however, requires our full undivided attention, noticing tone, body language, and emotions, as well as the words themselves. By creating space for unhurried conversations, reducing distractions, and avoiding interruptions, we help people feel truly heard. Open-ended questions lead to richer, more meaningful dialogues, and acknowledging emotions builds a foundation of trust. Leaders who listen without rushing to offer solutions encourage better thinking and stronger, more supportive relationships. I invite you to reflect. Do the people in your life feel heard? And how can you create more opportunities for deeper, more compassionate listening? As a challenge, why not try a listening partnership with a colleague? Taking turns speaking uninterrupted for 5 minutes and then reflecting on the experience. By embracing these foundational principles of kind leadership, we can begin to cultivate workplaces and communities where people feel genuinely supported, empowered, and inspired to grow. Stay tuned as we explore the remaining 5 principles that will further illuminate the path towards compassionate, transformative leadership. 4. Bringing kindness into leadership. Now that we've explored the first 3 foundational principles of kind leadership, let's delve into the next 3 guiding pillars that can help us bring this transformative approach to life. The 4th principle is people first, work second, always. This recognition that personal crises and challenges inevitably impact one's performance is crucial. Expecting otherwise simply creates a culture of fear and disengagement. And that word always is of the utmost importance. This is not an occasional act of kindness, but a steadfast rule with no exceptions. A leader who responds to an employee's hardship with "focus on yourself, we'll handle things here," demonstrates genuine care and concern. In contrast, prioritizing deadlines and productivity above individual well-being drives people into silence, as they become afraid to share their struggles, worried about judgment or job security concerns. Reassurance is important, but words alone cannot build lasting trust. It's the actions that truly matter. Real, meaningful support requires flexibility, sometimes even going beyond rigid organizational policies. True leadership must bridge the gap between those impersonal policies and the very real human challenges that people face. I invite you to reflect on your own organization. Is this kind of compassionate, people-centric approach the norm, or is there still room for improvement? If the answer isn't immediately clear, start paying closer attention. Look for the subtle signs that someone may be in need of support, even before they feel comfortable asking. The fifth principle challenges us to be humble. This calls into question the notion that leadership is all about personal success and recognition. The greatest leaders, it seems, do not seek the spotlight for themselves, but rather direct that light towards the accomplishments of their team. Celebrating the achievements of our colleagues builds trust, strengthens bonds, and fosters a culture of mutual appreciation. This culture of recognition begins with the simple act of witnessing, acknowledging the efforts of our coworkers without turning the focus back onto ourselves. But humility also means having the courage to admit when we're wrong, actively seeking help and feedback from others. When leaders model this openness, it creates an environment where everyone feels safe to do the same. Have you ever found your own need to be right hindering collaboration? If so, try this. The next time a colleague does something exceptional, acknowledge their contribution without adding your own experience or opinion. The sixth principle encourages us to treat people the way they want to be treated. This means considering what truly makes each individual feel valued and appreciated. A handwritten note, for example, may be deeply meaningful to one person, but come across as impersonal to another. Leaders often hesitate to show kindness, worried about potential misinterpretation. But the truth is that trust grows through genuine curiosity and small, thoughtful gestures. The key is to let these acts of generosity flow from a place of sincerity, not mere obligation. Paying attention to life events, personal preferences, and the small details that matter to each person can transform a simple act into something that truly resonates and uplifts. By embracing these three additional principles of compassionate leadership, we can continue to build workplaces and communities where people feel seen, supported, and empowered to thrive. Stay tuned as we explore the final two principles that will further illuminate the path towards transformative, kind-hearted leadership. 5. Making kindness a lasting culture. We've now arrived at the final two guiding principles for embedding kindness into the very fabric of our leadership and organizational culture. Both of these are truly indispensable for building lasting positive change. The seventh principle is to slow down. This is a critical realization, for a fast-paced, hurried life can so easily get in the way of genuine acts of kindness. Think about it, my friends. If we're constantly rushing from one task to the next, it becomes all too easy for those small, meaningful gestures of care to slip through the cracks. Research has even shown that more than half of people cite a lack of time as the primary factor preventing them from being kinder. The goal here is not to do everything at a snail's pace, but rather to match our speed to what the moment truly requires. As Karl Honoré, a leading figure in the slow movement, so eloquently realized, he had been speed-reading bedtime stories to his children, missing out on those precious, meaningful moments of connection. Honoré's work, including his book In Praise of Slow and his impactful TED Talk, have helped popularize the idea of cultivating a slow mindset, one where intentionality creates space for greater awareness, empathy, and richer relationships. A few simple shifts can make all the difference, leaving room in your schedule for flexibility, reducing phone distractions, taking more mindful walks, and pausing throughout the day to reset. I invite you to reflect. What is it that keeps you trapped in the busyness cycle? What beliefs about work, productivity, or success drive you to constantly rush? As an experiment, try setting aside an hour in a public place without your phone. Pay close attention to the people, conversations, and small details you might normally miss. And now we arrive at the eighth and final principle. It doesn't end with you. In other words, kindness truly thrives when it's woven into the very fabric of the group dynamic, not just individual actions. Within the workplace, culture is shaped by what leaders do, not merely what they say. A kind-hearted leader models thoughtful, intentional decision-making, rather than simply rushing from one task to the next. Some individuals, known as cultural architects, have the power to shape workplace behavior by setting the tone for those around them. These changemakers can emerge at any level of leadership. Take the example of Sven-Göran Eriksson, who became the England football manager in 2001. Recognizing that the team lacked motivation and unity, he sought a leader who could inspire others through action, not just words. Ericsson chose David Beckham as captain, not only for his skill but for his relentless work ethic and fearless mindset. Beckham's shining example helped shift the team's culture, leading to a major turning point, a stunning 5-1 victory over Germany. The same principle holds true in any workplace. Kind, compassionate cultures require more than just policies. They need visible leaders who demonstrate the true value of kindness through their everyday choices and behaviors. This reveals a fundamental truth about lasting change. Kindness becomes a genuine habit through consistent daily choices. And as workplaces evolve, those businesses that truly embrace ethics and empathy will undoubtedly stand out. While AI may take over routine tasks, kindness and strong, compassionate leadership will always remain essential human strengths. A wonderful example of this can be found in the Italian tradition of caffè sospeso, where people prepay for a stranger's coffee, an anonymous act that normalizes generosity and weaves kindness into the fabric of daily life. The most powerful acts of kindness are not those that are planned or performed for recognition. Rather, they happen naturally, becoming woven into the very way people treat one another each and every day. Final summary. Kind, the quiet power of kindness at work, is a transformative guide to creating a more positive, productive, and fulfilling workplace through kindness. Graham Allcott demonstrates that kindness is not a weakness, but a powerful leadership tool that drives engagement, innovation, and success. Kindness is a strategic advantage that benefits individuals, teams, and organizations. By embracing kind leadership and fostering a culture of empathy and respect, you can create a workplace where everyone thrives. Whether you're a leader, manager, or team member, this book offers actionable insights to help you harness the power of kindness in your professional life. Ready to transform your workplace with kindness? Start by practicing small acts of kindness, modeling empathy, and advocating for supportive policies. If this summary inspired you, grab a copy of Kind and take the first step toward creating a more compassionate and successful work environment. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Guide to Reads for more transformative book insights. Remember, kindness is the quiet power that drives success.